Hello dears, in this video, which should hopefully be a short one, I'm going to pronounce all the Indian words that appear in our dear game, in our favorite game, Age of Empires 2. The new civilizations that were added to the AOE pantheon, let's call it, are based out of my native country. And as a native Indian speaker, as a native, there's no Indian language, but there are um, dozens of Indian languages, and as a speaker of several of them, I'm going to try and pronounce the words that we encounter, the unique unit names and the unique technology names in these four civilizations. First of all, the names of the civilizations themselves. The Bengalis, I'm going to go alphabetically, the Bengalis, the Dravidians, the Gurjaras, it is Gurjar is the singular, Gurjars is the plural, Gurjara, hence the A at after the J and the R at the end there, Gurjara, Gurjars, and finally the Hindustanis. So let's look at what each of them offer. The Bengalis, of course, come with their unique unit, Ratha. Ratha literally means, you might have guessed this already, chariot. That is what the word Ratha means. Once again, the A does not necessarily have to be lengthened into an A sound. It is always lengthened that way if you're not a native Indian, but it can often be pronounced simply as the which is denoted by the schwa in linguistics. So Ratha literally means chariot, and in fact, my native language Marathi is a corruption of the portmanteau word Maharathi. Maha means great, Rathi means charioteer. So I am descended from great charioteers. That is what Ratha means. It means chariot. Ratha. Next is Paik, very similar to the pike men. The pike pronunciation in the pike men, just you just have to extend the pike, the I, into an I. Pike. And then the second unique tech that the Bengalis get is Mahayana. This is a very reasonably common word compared to the others that we have encountered so far. It is a sect in Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, and that is where they have taken this name from. The next Indian civilization is the Dravidians. The Dravids traditionally have been populating the peninsular part of India. South of the Narmada was the traditional way of depicting the Dravid territory. Now it is the 5 states of India that are further south. So the Dravidian unique units are the Urumi swordsman. Everybody gets this right, and the Tirsidae. Everybody gets this right as well. Wonderful to note that, as well as Wood's steel. So that is reasonably easy to pronounce, isn't it? Everything over here is as it appears. Then come the Gurjars and not the Gurjaras, as unfortunately one is prone to pronounce it as because of the A. But as I said, quite often in Indian words, the A does not extend to become an A. Just like the you might have heard of the uh, Indian classical music notion of the rag. It is rag, not raga, as some people end up pronouncing it is raga, rag. Similarly, Gurjaras and their unique units are the Chakram thrower and the Shrivamsha rider. Shrivamsha. You have to make that M before the sh. You have to make it nasal, just like we do it in French. Um, Similar to that, Shrivamsha. But Shrivamsha is also valid because the Shrivamsha pronunciation is in the classical language, Sanskrit or Sanskrit as we call it. And if you are a native Hindi speaker, you would pronounce this as Shrivamsha. Gurjars, of course, today we have the state of Gujarat, which depicts where this civilization ended up, the western state of Gujarat, and they would pronounce it as Shrivamsha as well. If you look at the when we are playing the game, and if you select the various units, the villagers and especially the monks, they have a few Gujarati words when they utter the commands that we give them. So that's another interesting thing to look out for. And the other unique tech which needs pronunciation is the Kshatriyas. It's a Ksha, Kshatriya. Kshatriyas, the S is just a plural, Kshatriyas and not Kshatriyas. Kshatriya. Kshatriya is the warrior caste in India, or in what used to be the warrior caste in ancient and medieval India. The priest caste was the Brahmins, the warrior caste were the Kshatriyas, and the traders, etc., were the Vaishyas, and then everybody else who did not fall in this categorization back then were known as the Shudras. But anyway, we are focused on the Kshatriyas, the warriors, and hence this unique tech name is given to the tech where your military units cost 25% food. And then we come to the Hindustanis, which appear to be not one of the original ancient Indian civilizations, but a very medieval construct which came after the invasions of the subcontinent from its northwest, which is why we get quite a few Muslim pronunciations in this, such as the Gulam. The Gulam, you can call it Gulam if the H is not is getting tricky for you. It's G actually, Gulam, but you can call it Gulam. We use this word in history books to describe slaves. That is right, a Gulam is basically a slave, but the unique tech over here is named Ghulam. And Shatagni. Shata and Agni. It is a portmanteau word. We call it a Sandhi over here in India. Shata and Agni. Shatagni. Shata means 100 and Agni means fire or flame. So 100 flames is what Shatagni basically amounts to. So that is the Hindustanis, and those are the four civilizations that we have in our wonderful favorite game Age of Empires 2. I hope this has been informative and instructive. See you again next time.